It's so hard for me to open up my heart when I feel hurt. But I do know that better days are coming. I was thinking of that song by Neil Young. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 21st century. You walk in the woods and there's signs of life everywhere. Spring is trying so hard to arrive. Everybody, I am so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I hope your week was a good one. You know, today I'm doing a requested video. So many of us are alone right now, separated from our family and our friends. And what you are doing out there is you are turning on your cameras and you are sending videos out to your grandchildren, reading stories, or your family. You're giving them updates with your camera. Some of you are doing like Zoom type meetings with your company. So you don't like the way you look. And, you know, I'm no expert, but I have been in front of the camera for over 5 years. And, you know, you're bound to learn some tips and tricks on how to look better, you know, when you're 60 plus and you have to be on camera. So I want to share those with you today. I've got about a dozen, and I think you're going to like them. Some are some of your camera settings. Some, you know, is frame positions. A lot of it is makeup. So I think we're going to have some fun. I think a lot of these tips you know, but some I think you don't know. So let's do this. Let's look better on camera. I guarantee it. No, I don't. I need to get out more. All right, I just turned my camera on, and this is a Canon Rebel T6, and it is a DSLR. I have it on autofocus, not portrait, but auto. I like that much better. And I have a light to my left and a light to my right. And the reason that I have lights on both sides is to keep the shadows off my face. The more we can keep our shadows off our face, the better we are going to look, the softer we're going to look. So behind my camera is a ring light. Now, I could have a mini ring light, or I could have a you know, a large one like I do, but you don't have to buy a big one. But the importance of a ring light is the ring light will distribute all the light in your room into one type of cascading light onto your face. So that is going to give you a softer look. It's going to keep the shadows away. Shadows. But you know what I mean. It will give you it will distribute the light in such a way where your viewer will be able to see what your face looks like without the distractions of shadows. We're not professionals, so any lighting we come up with, it, you know, can be quite harsh, especially if you're over, you know, 60, 65, you know. We want to look our best, but the lights are bright. Another thing that you can do to soften that is get yourself, you probably already have it, but get yourself kind of a large mirror, and you take that mirror and you set it on your lap. And what that mirror does is it collects all the light that's in the room and it bounces it up from below, which gives you kind of a softer look and a more illuminating look. And if you notice, a lot of the women anchors on TV, you can see that they have something below them that is cascading that light up to them because it's so flattering. A lot of you don't want to, be recording with a big mirror on your lap. So I understand that. And you know what I do? What I do is I set my big mirror to the right of me because I have two big windows to the left. So that kind of evens it out. So I still get a little bit of reflection. But the bottom line is I just need the shadows off my face. The next thing that is so important is camera placement and framing. Where that camera is in relation to your face. Is it shooting you from below? Is it shooting you from above? This is more important than I think most people realize. If you're going to film school and you want to be a director, they will teach you that when you're filming someone, if you want to portray weakness in that person, you shoot them from above. Like they're holding out a little thing of porridge, may I have some more? That you're filming down on them. And that will project a feeling of that person is weak. On the other hand, if you shoot them from beneath, it gives the audience that feeling that that person is a very strong, powerful person. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I see this over and over again in not just the mature community, but women in general kind of like to have that camera pretty high. So they look up to the camera almost like it's a security camera on a wall. And they do that for a variety of reasons, thinning out their face, making their neck look better, so on and so forth. I would advise you not to do that. Don't shoot yourself from above, which gives the audience that feeling that you don't have any gravitas, that you're weak. Or shooting yourself from below, which makes you look more standoffish, powerful. You don't want to come off weak or powerful. You want to project a feeling of trust. So when you're talking to family and friends and you want them to feel welcomed and you want them to trust you, you want that camera to be right where their face would be if they were sitting down with you having a cup of coffee. So your nose, you can track your nose right to the middle of your lens, and that's where your camera should sit. And that way, it's so easy for you to look into that camera straight on, just like you would if you were sitting with them. It's so important to be able to have that camera where your friend or family member's face would be. And you can't go wrong. Every single time you will know what your correct framing is. The top of your head is on the top of the frame. And they should be able to see if you have a necklace on or not. So you should have all of this in your frame to look your very, very best. The next thing I want to talk about is a setting in your camera that might help you out. If you have lines around your eyes or around your mouth that you feel would distract your audience, you can go into the menu. And you probably are shooting yourself in either portrait or auto, and go in there and I'll try to show you a close-up of how you can do this. And you click on display or push display, and then you can control your sharpness and your contrast. Alright, so you're going to click on menu, and you are going to go down to the third little icon, and there you see picture style. Under auto, you're going to click on that, and then you can see right here you're going to choose auto, and you're going to click on display, and here you see the sharpness right here, and this is what you can alter. But I would caution with that. I don't do that because if I turn down the sharpness, yeah, I will probably look better to you. But the shot won't. You won't see the color of my lipstick as well. You won't see the color of my eyes very well, or my hair, or the whole shot in general. Once you start playing with that sharpness, the setting for sharpness in portrait usually the default is 2. In my auto, it's 4, and I like it on 4. And I think that, you know, I just think that the more real we can appear on camera, the better. What I would say is that filters are no good, and putting, you know, like saran wrap over the lens, that's no good either, because that everybody can tell, and your shot is going to look terribly blurry. You'll look real pretty, but you look like you're filming underwater. I mean, it's just anything that you do where it looks like you're going the extra mile because of vanity. You know, you don't want to do that for family and friends or coworkers. You want to be as natural as possible.
One of the most important things to me that gives me so much pleasure is getting that right, perfect shot. I really don't like filming myself, but I do love getting that perfect shot.
I want to share with you is how I apply my makeup for the camera. And how I apply my makeup for the camera is so completely different than how I put on my face just, you know, to go out on a date or to go to an event. I remember those. Anyway, there's something about highlighter when we get older, and perhaps our cheeks are not as smooth as they used to be, and perhaps we have some crow's feet that are pretty deep. So if you're putting a lot of highlighter there, it looks terrible. It's just like a neon sign saying, hey, look how old I am. So you don't want that. I never wear highlighter in a video. I just won't do it. But I still want to look like I'm alive, like I glow. So what I always do before I film is I use an illuminating primer. And I may not do this, you know, all the time for real life, but on film I have to. And e.l.f. has a nice one. This one is Spotlight by Physicians Formula. I love it. But as you can see, it is very luminous. And sometimes I mix this with my foundation. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I will use just a little bit of this over my makeup also. But it's nice because it will give me a glow, but not, it's subtle because I have my foundation and my blush over it and my powder. It's not going to be in your face, you know? And also the amount of foundation that I use is so much heavier. I am in front of these bright lights. You see right through my makeup. And, you know, you're going to see every flaw, every wrinkle, every age spot, you know, and that's okay. But I would like to dumb it down a little bit. So I do use a color corrector underneath my foundation. And then when my foundation goes on, I build it up twice every time, and I do lightly powder over it. And that seems to truly help me, or else if I were to just wear a normal amount of makeup, it would look like I didn't have anything on in front of the camera. It was so important for me today not to turn this into a joke. I sat in my bathroom and I used my makeup exactly how I would have used it when I was 25 years old. Comes to mature women and the do's and don'ts of their eyebrows, I always think of two Hollywood movie stars, and one is Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard with the very tiny little eyebrows, and the other one is Joan Crawford. Remember her huge eyebrows in her movies, Mildred Pierce. And both of them are, to me, are just absolutely dreadful for the same exact reasons. And that is, as we get older, our face becomes less symmetrical and we start to see a squaring off of our face. So our heart shape, our pretty little heart-shaped face is no more, you know. So we have more of a masculine look to our face. So if we have big bushy eyebrows, that just adds to the masculinity of it all. So, but also if we have the tiny little thin brows like the Gloria Swanson, that's not good either. Then that just screams old lady too. So we somehow have to strike a balance between too little and too much. I think having a good shape to our brow is everything, and making sure they're not only plucked but that they're trimmed is absolutely crucial. And if you're on the fence, you know, am I going too light? Am I going too heavy? Go with, oh, I'm going too light. And I know I go too light with my brows most of the time. But for me, I'm comfortable with that because I just feel that it's more feminine, because my face is becoming more masculine, and I think that helps me out.
When you truly fall in love with filmmaking, vanity goes out the window.
You know, somebody said to me the other day, you know, why don't you make some videos that can inspire me again? And I thought to myself, you know, I have to heal up first. I have to sort out my life first. Sometimes in order to give, we just need a time out. Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it. So, you know, and I think the last thing is, you know, if you really want to look great on camera, get yourself a cute dog. It works every time. The dog gets all the attention, nobody looks at you. Thank you so much, though, for everything. I'm so glad you were here today. You have yourself a good, safe coming week, and when you're done with your week, you come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal.
Never did I ever dream that I would be in my 60s and sitting in my living room with lights shining on my face and talking to the camera. I couldn't have imagined such a thing. I was thinking about what a friend had said, and I was hoping it was a lie. Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. Just one look in your eyes and you know it's true. Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot